Coming up next, a high-stakes one-on-one meeting. Darby Allin has designs on the AEW World Championship, but in order to get his shot, he has to go through Andrade El Ídolo next. You have to win the World Championship of All Elite Wrestling, and Darby Allin explained this past Wednesday that he just didn't want the championship. He needed it. He had to prove to himself that the strife, the turmoil that he's faced, going through blood, going through glass, going through fire, that it was all worth it. Unless he wins the AEW World Championship, it was all for naught.
I'm not so sure anyone in AEW has gone through as much as Darby Allin has gone through.
He's known as the Daredevil for his reckless style, which he said has convinced some people he didn't care. He actually says he cares too much. That fearlessness, somewhat of a facade. Deep down he is scared perhaps he can't win the big one, and he can't be the face of this company that he helped from the very beginning put on the mat. Wow.
Andrade slips underneath the collar and elbow tie-up with Darby Allin. Deposits his opponent on the top rope. Mockingly deposits his opponent, Darby.
With ease.
Baits in Andrade, swing and a miss. Twice by Andrade. Darby now takes a side headlock. Widens the stance to bring the taller man down closer to the mat, Nigel.
Yep, certainly you're going to need to do that when you're giving up pounds and strength, Darby Allin. As I said, he's known for that careless style, if you will, but he's a smart man, a veteran as well. A lot of miles on his body.
A lot of people, Tony, have underestimated Darby Allin. They see how he looks, they see the tattoos, the face paint. They can't possibly imagine that he is a serious professional wrestler, but he has tremendous fundamentals when it comes to the sport of professional wrestling, in addition to the risks he's willing to take.
Hey, he's got a great amateur background. He was a wrestler in high school, and a fine one at that, in the Seattle area. And
Andrade, flying surfboard, La Tapatia, whatever you want to call it. He has Darby Allin in trouble here. Now wrenching back on the head of Darby.
Darby, who's spent plenty of time in the skateboarding world as well. You can certainly make an argument. He's probably had more injuries from skateboarding than he has from professional wrestling, which is saying something.
After what we've seen over the last six and a half years of Darby Allin and All Elite Wrestling, he has accumulated more than his fair share. And look at this, both men prepared for one another.
A moment of tranquilo, hanging out on the ropes, but wait a second.
Battering ram sends Andrade spilling to the floor.
getting ready to say Andrade is such a great veteran. He knows what he's doing. He didn't expect that, though, did he?
Certainly Darby Allin not taking it easy, driving his opponent. Look at this, through the middle rope and then following himself.
Nigel, that's one of the things that makes Darby so difficult to prepare for. It's his unorthodox style, the unconventional risks that he's willing to take his opponent. Oftentimes thinks there's no way this guy's crazy enough to do something like that.
Oh, he is. You look up crazy in the dictionary, you'll see a picture of that. But whoa, wait a second. Mamacita, there's another Mamacita who wants to jump into the DMs.
Andrade got Darby up in the vertical suplex.
Oh, he's going to try. Oh, look. Oh, the balance and the strength it takes to do that.
Oh, he's showing off for this young lady at ringside.
Just planting Darby on the top of the, well, first the ring post, now the turnbuckles, and just overhand strike sends Darby reeling back into the ring.
Maybe now Andrade has a little time for Mamacita at ringside. Oh, yeah. She likes what she sees. Got a kiss as well.
Somewhere Don Cal is seething. Yeah, the family's coffers aren't being enlarged by this one, but
Watch out!
Oh, Darby!
Darby just throws his body.
The back of the head of Andrade crashing
yes,
into the ringside barricade. Oh, yeah, just watch this. Watch the back head. Bang. Ooh,
you're right. Yeah.
Darby, you've really got to check.
The coffin drop from Darby caught Andrade completely unawares, and now Darby sent Andrade over the barricade out to the floor here.
That's the hardest barricade, too. That's the one with the video board on it.
Darby dragging Andrade up the steps here in the Rogers Arena in Vancouver.
I tell you what, I think Darby's letting his emotions carry him away here. He needs to win this match in the ring.
That's one way of looking at it. Wait a second, as I was about to say on the outside, I'd give Darby Allin the advantage.
No, look at
Darby kick on the steps.
That is incredible.
Again, Nigel, Andrade had to be thinking, there's no way Darby is crazy enough to launch a drop kick on those steps.
It was Darby, I think, that took the worst of it, to be honest with you. Because when he landed on that drop kick, he landed on those steel steps.
Those steel or cement? I think those are cement.
Maybe cement. Doesn't matter
at this point.
Right.
Just watch from a different angle.
See how Darby landed?
The spine of Darby Allin colliding with the steps.
Darby dragging Andrade back to the ringside area. Now you see a big abrasion on that right above the right side hip of Darby Allin on the lower back. And that is courtesy of those steps. And Darby, understandably, taking a moment to collect himself. His elbow, easy way to chip the bones in your elbow as well.
This is what Darby Allin says. He cares too much. He wants to show he will do whatever it takes to be the face of this champion, of this company.
Andrade
points to the heavens. The three amigos, will we see them all?
Andrade looking for the third. Oh, wait. Andrade looked over his shoulder into the car. Darby! Oh! The damage to the elbows, the lower back of Darby Allin, only to be exacerbated by that.
That was a good face of a great pro that knows what he's doing in the ring. Take a look.
Ring awareness. He knew exactly where the turnbuckles were and exactly how his opponent was going to fall if he suplexed him into them. But wait a second, more damage to come.
Andrade, knees, nobody home. Darby slips free. Now Darby over the top. Stunner on Andrade. You see Darby putting his hand on his lower left hip as well.
The red welt in the lower back of Darby Allin now pronounced. Who knows what damage has been done to the spine.
It's been a great night here in Vancouver. We've got a whole lot more. We're going to have a couple of great nights for you coming up in Seattle. Spring Breakthrough is coming up Wednesday live on TBS, and then the following night on TNT on a Thursday night. Special night. Boy, two great nights.
Back-to-back nights of action this week. Dynamite and Collision Spring Breakthrough, but Andrade not happy with the support Darby Allin's getting here. Andrade, the fireman's carry on Darby Allin.
Oh, Lord.
Trying to carry his opponent up the ropes.
All the way up. Darby Allin got to do this, yet has to fight out.
Darby firing down with those elbow strikes to the side of the head of Andrade.
Andrade just trying to balance himself.
How do you say please don't die in Spanish? Killing me right now. Moments away.
Darby wrenching back on the neck of Andrade, and Andrade forced to make a desperate crawl to get the boot on the rope to force the break.
Darby Allin getting every one of those 4 seconds before he's disqualified. Just watch this. Look at the head of Andrade. Boom! Landing straight into the mat and straight away.
And now,
oh my God!
Darby Allin throwing his body at Andrade El Ídolo, and Andrade in turn smashing into our solid announce desk.
Well, if you want a highlight reel, just watch this. Bang!
Wow.
Again, 2 collisions for Darby Allin. One with his opponent, one to an inanimate object at ringside.
Back inside, boys. Come
And
on.
now Darby with Andrade seated in the chair. A bite on the head.
Darby's got this maniacal look on his face.
This might be the reason why.
As
Oh, boy.
Darby to the top, the drop kick.
Well, announce table. One more strike away from demolition, but look at this. Andrade grabbing at the arm. Textbook Darby Allin, but what was not textbook was where Andrade ended up. Again, the back of his head had already collided with a barricade. A second time into the announce desk. And both men with AEW World Title aspirations are giving absolutely everything for that opportunity.
Oh, Darby, though, collapsing
Back inside.
due to all the punishment, not only inflicted by his opponent, but on himself as well.
Andrade trying to roll to the outside for a little bit of respite. Is really hurt. Certainly that goes for Darby Allin now, who's stalking.
Yeah, he's stalking, but Darby dropped down to his knees that time, and I think it was out of fatigue, if nothing else. And if Andrade can get Darby Allin over to the floor, that may be the crowning blow here.
Oh, Andrade, though,
We're going to try to do it.
reversing Darby, delayed. Double suplex. Both men go down, but Darby undoubtedly getting the worst of that exchange.
Certainly did, Excalibur, but you're right. Both men hit hard that time, as you can see.
2 words. Absolutely incredible physicality. The human body is not built to withstand that. We pray to the good Lord that Darby Allin's can.
Come on, Darby, get up.
That's way more than 2 words, but I understand what you're saying.
Oh, Aubrey Edwards now giving the 10 count to both athletes on the floor.
Up to 5, halfway there. No shame in Darby Allin not getting back into. Oh, wait a second.
Andrade the first to his feet, and he drags Darby.
Cover the man. That's got to be it.
Look, Darby's still trying to pull himself up. Look at this. It's almost, he was like dead weight getting him in.
But it's never say die with Darby Allin.
Yeah, he's still.
Still may have been run over by a truck at this point.
I mean, he's survived a New York City bus. He's got the words, nothing's ever over till you're underground, tattooed on his body. Those are the words he lives by. But it'll take more than words if Darby hopes to survive this. Andrade covers. 1, 2, 3. No!
Andrade got a head of steam hitting those other turnbuckles,
Darby
guys.
Allin was spitting up a little bit of blood there. Maybe some internal damage. I don't want to play doctor here. We've got the best medical staff in the world, but at some point here,
It just becomes more than even they can handle, Nigel.
we don't want to make Darby Allin make good on his promise.
Seen Andrade over the last few months. He's had some fun with the crowd, but he needs to stay focused.
I don't think he is. Tony Schiavone, put your dollar bills away.
Well, I would say this is a mistake, but Darby Allin ain't moving. So if there's any time that's the right
Young
time.
lady in the front row just passed out. Let's get some medical help over there. I've seen another one. They're dropping like flies at ringside.
Andrade El Ídolo.
Someone get Tony Schiavone a drink. Watch out!
Darby attempted to avoid, but it couldn't. Yet able to beat the count.
I was going to say it's frustration on the face of Andrade, but it's not. He feels that it's Only a matter of time here now.
I would do.
A devilish grin on the face of Andrade El Ídolo. I think he can feel, oh yeah, Darby, that lip, I believe, is the source of the blood, Nigel. At least, thankfully for Darby, it's not internal bleeding that we know of.
Darby just fights for all he's worth. And Andrade's loving every bit of that.
Men paintbrushing one another.
Both men, you got to grit your teeth, keep your teeth together, or you can get knocked out with a palm strike. The rope, the only thing holding up Darby Allin at this point.
An open-handed strike into the jaw of Darby Allin.
Even the face of Aubrey Edwards, our referee, is like, what am I watching here? What am I calling? God, what a fight.
Darby slips beyond. Scorpion death drop.
Again, the back of the head of Andrade.
The same place where he struck, or the back of the head was what struck the barricade earlier. Darby looking to capitalize. Coffin drop. Wow. 1, 2. No, Andrade.
It was a good move, but obviously he didn't have the shoulders covered. Aubrey's very angry, but still the shoulder got up.
And it was very interesting, wasn't it? Andrade didn't get his shoulder up before a 3 count, but he did stop the official before she counted it. So I guess the match continues.
The match indeed continuing. Darby Allin, that coffin drop so successful for him in the past.
Now, Andrade, oh, watch out. No.
Code red, no. Darby vaulted out. Andrade! One, two, three, no! Darby!
Darby Allin is, I don't know what else we can say about him.
Well, wait a second, back to live action. The DM attempted Darby Allin. Steps through, Darby. 1, 2, 3!
My God, he won it.
Here's your winner, Darby Allin!
Darby Allin pulling a victory from the jaws of defeat. And now, we know Darby Allin will have a shot at either MJF or Kenny Omega, whoever leaves our main event tonight in Vancouver as AEW World Champion.
And boy, did he earn it. This went beyond pro wrestling. Darby Allin showed us a glimpse of his soul.
And frustration etched on the face of Andrade El Ídolo. Frustration mingled with surprise.
Yeah, but you know, Andrade wrestled a hell of a match. And he knows it. That's why he's frustrated. Going to hear a lot more from him.
Andrade undoubtedly thinking, what would I have to have done to Darby Allin to beat him?
Well, I think you got to knock him smack dab out. And I'm not so sure that'll even work. Whoa. How about this? How about that?
Andrade acknowledging that at least for tonight, Nigel, the better man won.
Indeed. Darby Allin looks to perhaps climb to the top of the mountain. He takes one step closer to it.